Hello and welcome. My name is Craig Guymon. Now that we've acquired data and triaged that data, we're in a position to be able to remediate from the endpoints using some of the matched triage rules and the acquired data that we've accessed and looked at the reports from earlier. To do this in Binalyze Air, you have the ability to remediate using interACT, which is our cross-platform remote shell capability, allowing you to have a DFIR-focused session, remote shell session with this endpoint to perform DFIR functions. Now, before I go into this capability, I want to expound upon some of the options that are available to you, which are also available in all of the other tasks that can be performed on an endpoint in Binalyze Air. This includes being able to save data to an evidence repository, set CPU limits, which can be very useful during specific activities such as performing triages or acquisitions. I can set this CPU limit to, in this case, let's say 70%. And of course, I can encrypt and compress the data. I'll choose to compress this data and I'll say start, which will then begin establishing a connection with Craig's desktop, allowing me to then list all the DFIR focused commands that I can run on this system. If I run an LS, you now see that I have the ability to see the directory that I'm currently in at this moment. If I want to then run a get on, say for example, the desktop.ini file, I can do that. Or I can go back and change directories into the Craig directory if I want to. And I will say clear and ls. And now I can see all of the files within that directory. If one of these files was a file that was causing problems on this system, I could in fact kill that system, kill that process or file using the kill command. If I type in help again, you'll see a list of all the different commands that I have available to me. I won't go through these all, but I will show you just a couple that are very useful. The ability to cat out the contents of a file, changing directories, running an HTTPS request using curl, deleting a file using various formats of the delete command to delete a file or directory, list out the directory using ls or dir, perform a find. I've already showed you how to perform a get. I can run help on any of the options I have here. So if I want to run OS query, for example, and run help, that will tell me exactly how to use the OS query command within the Binalyze Air DFIR shell interACT. I can also image, although this is no longer necessary given the fact that you have the ability to do this from the console without having to have a shell session created. I can kill processes, make directories, or even put files on the endpoint in question. I also have at my disposal access to a library that I can upload scripts and tools to, allowing me to run from the command line remediation scripts that you might already have in place to do your jobs more effectively. If this is the case, you can simply upload those tools and scripts into this library, allowing you to then execute them from the DFIR shell interACT. Once I close this session, a full audit trail of commands will be given to me. If I go to the tasks list, you'll see that this is processing what I've done, and I can immediately look at the report, which will show me all of the different commands that I ran, and I can expound on those, see exactly how long it took to run each of those commands, the dates and times, the response, the directory I was in, as well as all the individual detail. So in this case, a listing of everything that's in that particular directory and any transferred files that I transferred from the endpoint to my system.